Hello and welcome to Markiron Shipyard, episode 20. Let's get right to it, shall we? I think I'm going to have a little bit fun on some of the lower decks, not all the way down. But kind of what I want to start doing is getting a few things in the inner core filled in. For instance, some of these inner rooms and whatnot. Haven't quite decided the function of all of them yet. Maybe I'll also get engineering filled in a little bit here. Actually, I can start that right now. Whoops, that is probably going to interfere with, slight head bashing hazard. But never fear, iron panels are here. Bam, bam. There we go. There we go, and fabulous. So the two side rooms aren't shown too much on the show, I believe. I don't know that for sure because, to be honest, I haven't watched every single part of the show. Just kind of an unfortunate lack of time, shall we say. But I watch shows when I can. But I don't think the matter and antimatter, basically the prep rooms, where the injectors are and where things all get brought together, I don't think they get shown on the ship or on the show. So, guess what that means? Artistic license. Ooh yeah. So, I'm still trying to think of an idea that would be really cool on how I could actually make it functional. Not just appear, but actually create basically a warp engine in Minecraft. Now, obviously, it will not actually take the ship to warp, because taking the ship to warp would be an impressive feat of engineering I am not skilled enough to accomplish. However, I am skilled enough to still build the ship. But, so yeah, these engineering areas basically work out to be extensions of main engineering here. I think what I'm going to do is create, well, normally in the NX-01, there would be the laying down little warp core here. I think I might try a vertical one, like is shown later. And as if they were building an NX-01, I don't know, throwback or, that style of a ship in the 24th, 25th century, they would probably have to build the warp core as a modern one just to enable availability of parts and whatnot. But we can have some fun with this. Because that gives me all this area here, all this area here, and all this area for main engineering. So, let's see. Now, typically the warp core would come up to about here. Let's knock some blocks out here, just as a test. Leave some space to go behind. So yeah, you can get around in behind there and just maybe chisel out a nice square here. Square peg, round hole. Let's see how it looks if I take too many blocks out. Does that look kind of roundish? Not really. Give me a second. Alright, so Mineconics.net and some minor approximation to the rescue. This down here is actually my original layout of approximately where the warp core would take. So, let's throw this down. So I wonder if I do... Because I actually want to be able to have some volume in the center. I wonder if I take this up as high as we... Oops. Up until I run out of iron. Iron is good to have. So that'll basically be the height of my slightly modified NX warp core. Cool. So let's put some... Let's put some glass panels on the outside of this for now. And that way, I'll be able to actually put something inside and maybe something animated, fill it with lava or something. Could be cool. Actually, that's what I did on the Defiant that I made. Is I did basically a lava and water warp core. It worked, but I don't know what I'll do. That'll be a nice little challenge. But I do know one thing. That I didn't have this kind of glass when I was building my last one. My last warp core, yeah. It wasn't vanilla, but it was pretty close. I mean, I had a couple of bucket server admin mods, so I could do things like lines and all that, and I think it was admin command or something like that. But as far as modding in new blocks, new anything, yeah, it didn't really. All I did was, while I was building it, is I used a Star Trek themed texture pack, and that gave me the ability to view, consoles and things like that. I believe they were pumpkins and crafting tables. Yeah, that was it. Pumpkins and crafting tables. So, back onto my lovely little warp core. If I put this in, this is going to take forever to clear out. But nobody can deny it looks pretty awesome. Oh, no, you don't. So let's actually have my blocks ready. So that doesn't happen. I suppose what I should have done was just open up the top, but what can you do? I know what I can do. You got a lava problem? Break out some water. At the very least, the water gives you the ability to clean up the mess. Lava is awfully hard to clean up. Cobblestone, a little bit easier. Hey, I'm actually cleaning up after myself on camera. I almost never do that. So, there is, I guess, a functional warp core. Now, for the bonus round, let's put these on the sides. Because what I want to do is create the plasma conduits coming out the sides. That was a problem. There we go. So that is not the correct cover strip. Cool. And for now, I will simply place this like this. Later, there will most definitely be an actual something there. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking of yet, because that would give away everything. But there will be something. And build some walls. Building walls. Building walls. Building walls. Building walls. Walls are building. Building walls. Walls are building. Building walls. Building. Please wait. So I'm thinking, in addition to building some walls, might also build some catwalks. Another advantage of doing the warp core like this is I can put some command and control catwalks up here. Conveniently, just off of these guys. Ha. So these will allow me to step down into, I'm not sure what I'm going to put in the side here yet. Engineering labs, maybe? Ooh, I wonder. I wonder. I wonder. Ooh, idea. Ooh, I already have some. Cool. Just to give it a little dimensionality. It's actually going to make it pretty much perfectly square, but hey. I'm okay with that. Does kind of look a little bit pretty, don't it? Just adds a little bit of finishing trim to those corners. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Starfleet's new prototype square warp core. That silly round stuff. We do everything with squares. Because we are squares. This message was not sponsored or endorsed by Starfleet Command. Well, you always got to have the small print, right? So, ba-ba-bam. Fabulous. You know what? I'm going to bring this a little bit closer. I don't need to be that far away. In case of emergency, an extra meter away from the warp core isn't going to save your life. In fact, if you're within a meter, you might not even notice. It'll just be there 1 minute, gone the next. Poof. Whoops. Let's get the blocks I need and then turn creative mode on. Yay! Alright, so do I want... Yeah, let's do skinny verticals and not so skinny horizontals. Because, of course, I gotta have a safety rail. You know, Starfleet regulations prohibit me from, attempting to even operate the warp core without all safety guardrails in place. Because if this thing breaches, these rails are going to be the only thing to hang on to while you get vaporized. I mean, hi. Warp cores are safe. Just remember that, boys and girls. Warp cores are safe. At least safer than sticking your fingers in the blender. Or hugging an explosive device. Definitely safer than juggling angry cats doused in gasoline. Especially if there's somebody with a lighter nearby. So, that is that. So there's room there, and in case of emergency, the entire darn core can be dumped out the bottom of the ship. Not actually sure that this Enterprise had that feature, come to think of it. Just taking a look at what it looks like. Ooh, I know what I want. I want slabs. Oh, need creative mode. Maybe what I want is anti-covers? Anti-covers. Let's try them. These anti-covers are very nearly a block, but not quite. Just a little bit shy. In fact, they're exactly one cover shy. Hence the name, anti-cover. Because they're the exact opposite of a cover. Now, I want anti-cover strips. And I want creative mode. Yeah, these are not at all lean. They remind me of, you guitar players out there might know this. Ernie Ball's Not Even Slinky guitar strings. I don't personally use them because I don't need a guitar string like that, but, hey, if that's what you need, go for it. I imagine they'd probably tear your fingers up pretty good. Just saying. Just saying. Why does it feel like I've got anti-cover? Okay, so those go in there. Wow, that lava just jumped right out of there. It's almost like I hit it at the perfect tick. Okay, so they only place perfectly when they're backed into two of them. Okay, works for me. One thing I do look forward to is once the ship is pretty much done, the decorating phase. The decorating phase I will actually bring in people for. Certain people. Unfortunately, I don't have the resources to open this up to just everybody. I will take suggestions and requests. I'll consider them at the very least. But I think that's pretty much a good place to call today, and tomorrow we'll be back here in main engineering for a little more fun. And that wraps up episode 20. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.